Stopped off at the Western Film Museum out in Lone Pine. They had a lot of props and cameras and other components from movies that were made out near Lone Pine, out in Mojave, and in the surrounding areas. A lot of old westerns were made there. It was $8 a person to get in. Not a bad price. They have a lot of cool memorabilia inside of the museum. Take a little trip with me to look around and look at some of the stuff. They have a lot of old movie posters around this area here. Some of the components there in the background is actually from Django Unchained, because some of those components were actually recorded out in the area. They have the director's chair, Quentin Tarantino's. That is the medicine wagon from Django. Some screen worn materials from some of the movies out in the area. Old camera equipment from many, many moons ago. Some of the set designs from the area and photos of some of the stuff in the area. Old ticket booths. They were actually playing an old movie in the movie theater back here. I didn't get a chance to sit down and watch it, but it was the Song of Texas. Saw that on the marquee out in front of the museum when I first walked in. It's in black and white, original old movie theater seats inside here. There's some of the artifacts from Django Unchained, the script, some photos, movie posters, the signed script of Django Unchained. And like I said, the surgeon dentist John Wayne posters. There's a few movies that were made in the area that John Wayne started. Drive-in movie theater projectors. Some of you guys remember those. Going to the drive-in, put that on your window so you could hear the movie. Before you could do it to your radio station in your car. That is a 1928 Lincoln camera car used to record some of the movies from the old westerns. Connect the giant cameras on there and they would follow all the cowboys on horseback to get footage for the movies.
Buick Roadmaster 1941. Beautiful car. Used in the Trail of San Antone car. Lone Ranger. Check that out. Lots of movies made in Lone Pine. Hopalong Cassidy. '20th Century Fox Stagecoach, on loan from James E. Rogers collection. Actually used in films here in Lone Pine. It's beautiful and very well preserved. Wow. The Lone Ranger. Lord Rogers. The Lone Ranger. Bonanza. Lone Ranger toys. Hopalong Cassidy. Wow, look at that RCA. How many of you guys have one of those in your house? Playing some of these westerns. On our way back from staying out in Mammoth, decided to stop at the Western Film Museum. Lots of memorabilia in here of movies made in California, specifically here in Lone Pine, where we are at, where this museum is located. It's an $8 per person donation to get in, which is not too bad. There's a lot of memorabilia here. Really cool when you are out here and you see that stuff on the film and you're out here in real life checking it out. Gladiator from 2000. I did not know that, but there's the mountains right there. Mountain range here in California. Of course, you can't talk about westerns without John Wayne. All of those movies were made here in Lone Pine, starring John Wayne, of course. Outlaw Alley. That is a terrifying photo. I did not know that either. The parts of the movie were recorded here, and Sierras, Lone Pine to be exact, also in the Mojave Desert, Death Valley.
But something strange is beginning to happen in perfection. You see, things are beginning to get unsettled.
Tremors, you guys remember that movie?
To get slightly
Part of that was recorded here,
From producer Gail Ann Murray.
and even parts of Star Wars were recorded in Death Valley.
Comes a new kind of terror. In Universal's Tremors. Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, and Family Ties' Michael Gross star in the story which follows in the tradition of the classic
Look
1950s monster
at
movies.
those
Bacon and Ward play valid
sandworm things. I forget what they're called. Wow. Look at that. That is awesome. The little tongue thing that comes up out of the ground. Look at that. Graboids. They were puppets.
Forced into action and become the town's unlikely heroes.
Look at that thing.
Soon the whole town is drawn into the battle, including Michael Gross